Alright, y'all have been asking for this for too long. Let's make a little death animation effect thing. Not animation because it's not finished. Okay, let's do it. Okay, let's grab this and make another file. There we go. You're gonna grab a skin you like. In my case, that's this skin. Or at least my concept skin thingy. Yeah. And first thing we might want to do is we don't want to see these bones when we're working. So let's go to layout. What the hell? And enable this and disable when you go into this little tab the bones and maybe the extras so that we can select her. Let's turn these on for beautiful effect. Oh, I mean beautiful effect like that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is add a little cube, and this cube we're gonna move to the side, maybe scale it down a bit. That doesn't really matter for now. Now we're gonna go in edit mode and press Ctrl B in order to bevel it, not by a lot, but like, yeah, about this is good. Okay, scroll up with or down with your mouse wheel to adjust how many segments you want. I think about 3 is nice because you won't really see the resolution when they're going to be as small as we're gonna make them. Now let's give it a little shader. Remove the principal BSDF. Add in not that. Add in an emission. There we go, shader. A little mix, RGB, a little color ramp. Make this a dark blue, something like that. Maybe a little less dark. We'll see. And add another very saturated, light, bright blue. There we go. And we'll instantly copy that to place right there. Add an object info, which we're going to plug the random in there and in there. But in here, we're going to add a math, multiply, color ramp, layer weight, freshnel. Let's see, because like freshnel just looks a bit better than this one to my eyes, or it looks more like the official Fortnite thing. As you can see, I think this looks better. This is just to give it a little bit more detail. So I think with the other one I made this about 3.32. Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay, we'll slide this forward a bit, slide this all the way down there. That should do it. Okay, plug that in there, plug that in there, that in there, slide that up a bit, that in there, there you go, and up that emission a little bit. What you can do with the slider now is either make them, there we go, just to show as a little example, make them look like this, one singular color, or add some of that detail in there, as I do with the other one. Maybe we need to increase this by a little bit. Anyway, we're gonna make this look a little bit more blue, and for that just fill in this code 4788FF double F. There you go. And for the darker color we're gonna fill in this code and here as well. And I'm not exactly sure why I did that the way I did this, but it probably has to do something with the reference, so we'll keep it like this. Now that we're done with the cube, we can just go ahead and delete these so that we have one cube left. We can go ahead and do the whole geometry nodes thing. Okay, so let's add a new geometry node system, and we are going to add an attribute, or just proximity attribute. We're gonna grab an object info, plug the geometry off into the target, and then we're gonna grab a little instance object, which will be where our character is going to be dissolved. I think that's a good word for it. Anyway, we're gonna set this in the viewport display as wire, so that we can still see our character if we move this through her, like that. Now we're gonna have to name this something. So let's name this, I don't know, dist, for distance. And we're gonna grab, for this one, we're gonna set this to relative and grab the cube we just made. Maybe give the cube a name. Let's say dissolver, That will do. And this is just a cube. So, next thing we're gonna do is add a little, I don't want to scroll there, vertex color. And not that one. We want one that's just called call. Anyway, we're gonna add a color ramp, attribute color ramp, which is gonna say that dist, you know, this thing we made here, is gonna write its value to call, which basically means this proximity node tells this mesh or the character where this is. So if it gets closer, the value is gonna go white, and if it gets further away, the value is gonna get blacker. Which this attribute color ramp writes to call, which is in here. And why is that useful? We're gonna go into, we're gonna see that. We're gonna do shader editor, and I think this is the right one. Ooh, that's a lot of things. So if we just grab a vertex color and type in call and just kind of preview that, we can see that there's the texts where our cube is. Yeah. Now we're going to invert that. Basically because we're gonna fill in something that only works when this is, well, inverted. Add a point distribute. There we go. It might be a good idea to, before we do that, add a little join geometry and plug this in there so that we still have our model. And for the density, we're going to plug in call. Now, as you can see, if we move this here, things are gonna appear. Well, let's just kind of scale this number up to make it a little bit easier for us. And as a point instance, oh, what the hell was that? Oh my god. Point instance, there we go. If we just select for the point instance our little cube here, whoa, that's a lot of cube, which we can move away as soon as this moves away. But we don't want that to be as large as it is. So we're gonna add a little thing, which is an attribute randomize, which we're gonna set to scale. And this we're gonna take all the way down. Oh my god. As you can see, that controls the scale. Wow, shocker. 0.03 I think is good. Yep, looks good to me. As you can see, if we move this away, so do the cubes. Now we don't want these to not exist at all, so maybe scale that up a bit. Set this to 0.5. Yeah, now we're going to add another color ramp right here and set this to another value which we're going to make. I'm not sure what we call it, so let's just call it big or small boss. And for this we're going to drag our little white thing out here. I'm gonna go into solid mode because I can't stand that it's still laggy. What? Anyway, we're going to add another value which we're gonna set to black. Nope, we're gonna set to black. Thank you. And we're gonna add a little attribute math in there, which we're gonna set to boss. Oh wait, first we're gonna set this to multiply, or doesn't really matter in which order you do it, but like anyway. Okay, then we're going to go scale and then scale again. So what's happening now? Oh, I think it's happening the wrong way around. Or it's not. Maybe I just need to... Well, I'm gonna trust my initial node setup and just go with this. It might not look like a lot now, but it might, you know, or will probably make sense later on. Okay, now we're going to add a... Wait, another... another color ramp. Whoa. Okay, let's move this aside a bit so we can have our color ramps all around here, and drag this to the side and call this, instead of call, we'll call this rot for rotation. In here we are gonna add another math attribute, attribute math, there we go, and set this to multiply, which we're gonna set to rot, and then rotation, which is gonna make it rotate in every single way, every single direction, I think. Yeah, and the result is gonna be rotation. So basically what's gonna happen is that the cubes are going to move or rotate when this thing passes. And I think not a lot is happening right now, so we're gonna we're gonna change that. We're gonna set this to 4, and now they're going to rotate more. Yeah, look at that. Wow. And they're still not really leaving the body. So what we're going to do with that is an attribute mix. There we go. We're gonna set this to vector, this to multiply. This float we're gonna set to, I think, an attribute, which is gonna be our brought. Now it's not really making sense anymore, but I think it will work. Okay, position. Another one. Position. We're gonna set these to 1. 1. Oh, how I did that, by the way, is you hold down your left click and then slide down, and then you select all these values, and something will happen. As you can see, anything you type in will be typed in under that. So let's set that to 1, and we're gonna set our Z or Z value to another value. Yeah. Wow. As you can see, that does something great. Now, if we're just gonna make them lay down, that would work better. So if we just no, you would see. No, that's not the right way. Okay, let's not make her lay down. Lay down. Maybe pull that up a bit. You'll see that shit happens, and you can play around with these values a bit, and you'll see that, yeah, stuff happens. Great. Okay, I see that these are a bit too evenly moving, so we might wanna, or moving too evenly. We might wanna add another attribute to randomize. Randomize, there we go. And let's see. We're gonna set this to factor, and we're gonna set this to, okay, I'm gonna think really hard. Oh wait, I don't have to think really hard. This is gonna be position, and oh, what the hell? This is gonna be 1 or not, I guess. Oh, no, wait. We have to set this to a new value. So, pause. We'll just set this to pause. There we go. And we'll set this this factor to an attribute, and we'll set this to pause. And we'll set that to 1.4, and this to like 1.2. And now, I think if you move, oh, not that one. If you move this, it will move very randomly. Yeah. Although I do still want it to be more random. Let's see. Move this up. Yeah. Okay. This down. As you can see, oh, so much randomness. Thank you. Oh, look, it's working. Oh my god. Yeah. So if you only want your character to lie down, I think it's good to just put this all to 1, or just put these all to 1. Except for this one, except for the Z value. So this one is going to be something like 2, and this one is going to be, or something like 1.5, and this one is going to be something like 2, which would mean that it only moves up on the Z value, which is exactly what I did here. As you can see, well, I didn't do exactly what I did there. I didn't add the randomize node, which I did add here. But this one is very handy if you want some more randomization, and randomization is key. So as you can see, I only moved up the Z value because, well, it only has to move on the Z value here. If I would set this to like 1.5 or 1.1 and this to 1.3 or something, as you can see, it will move other directions as well, and not just the up direction that's up, the Z value. Oh, maybe this looks pretty good actually. I'm gonna need to keep that in there, these values. Well, except that there's a little bit of a big wall right there, which we can fix with another attribute randomize node, which we did add here. So yeah, we won. Okay, let's set this a bit higher. As you can see, oh wait, let's add back our our thingies which we initially had there. Look, beautiful. Wow. Okay, now that we have these, I think we're pretty much done with the geometry nodes section. And we can move on to the shader section thingy. Let's move this down a bit so we can start with this thingy. Yeah. Okay, depending on the model, you might need more density here. So let's set this to 1000 just for the sake of lot of cubes equals better cube. Look, that looks good. Oh yeah. Look at all those cubes. Oh my god. So beautiful. Anyway, I'm getting lost. Strafing away from the goal which we're trying to achieve. Okay. So what we have here. Again, we have our vertex color here. Which right now isn't showing anything. Why are you not showing anything? I fucking hate you. I guess we have to go back in here to make another one of those. Okay, so let's make another one. Let's call this call 2. Come on. Or just invis map. Yeah. And we're gonna add a color ramp. Attribute color ramp. Or we're gonna slide this in there, I think. One sec, I'll just grab my reference. Oh no, we have to copy that and change this to another thing. Let's just change that to prox for proximity. Call this attribute prox again. Call this and maybe flip this color ramp. Which now, if we go into shading and set this to invis map, look, there we go. There is our little color ramp thing. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's that big. That might be just because this model is just small compared to other things. But we don't care because it doesn't really matter. Anyway, something we can instantly do to make her disappear under the cubes is just kind of make a little color ramp and plug that in there. Add a little transparency node. Plug that in there, plug that in there, plug that in there, and then we go into this, and then we'll set this to clip. And let's see. Yeah, look, she's appearing. And basically, why those other things aren't disappearing? That's just because that's another shader. I wish I could merge these all in one. Like, oh my god, these materials, because I have to copy this in there. And I'm not even done with that because as you can see in here, oh my god, that's a lot. Okay, let's grab this and this and this. This is what you need to create. Let's pull this back a bit. This little effect here. The QB thingies. Which, to be very honest, I do not want to make right now. So I'm just gonna make it a little shader. And give it a name, fucking cubes or stuff. Awesome. And basically what you can do with that is just copy it and, I don't know, paste it in here. Clipboard is empty. Why can't you just press Ctrl C in Blender? It's so annoying. Okay, copy it like that, I guess. Just right click and then copy. Then go in here. It's still empty. my life. Okay, then we're going to have to go file, or and just go file, not link, file, append, creative. I don't know why I called it. Oh, no, because I made it for a creative thumbnail. Anyway, node 3, fucking cubes or stuff. Where is it? Oh wait, I have to add it into my scene. Fucking cubes or stuff. Plug that in there. This should be named invis map. So I guess, yeah. If you want to edit this, if you want this to work, you have to change this to your thingy, to your color map you just made, which I called invis map. I think you're all good after that. What if the? Oh my god. Sometimes I just add a lot of unnecessary nodes. Anyway, let's see if it works. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Okay. I guess we're gonna have to set this to, instead of clip, we're gonna set this to hashed. And it still doesn't work. So what we're gonna do then is gonna set this back to clip and go in here. And maybe Nope, not that one. Wow. There we go. Look at that. I'm gonna pull that all the way back. And let's see if that works better. Oh, it does. Oh, beautiful glory. Oh my god. Yes. Thank you. That's not often that you just can grab a shader and it almost works instantaneously. Wow. And I guess we can plug in something thingies, vectors, color, scale. We can go ahead and plug these skills in there. Oh, grab the skill. Grab the fucking skill. Plug that in there. And plug that in there. So you can have a little more control over that. And now you can control the size of those skills. Of those cubes, little thingies. Look at that. Wowie. Now as you can see, this doesn't look like anything. But that's just because we have to copy these. We have to copy these into every single material thing that's around this place. And then we're gonna have to look, you do that and then set this to 2 or 10. And then we're gonna have to set this to clip. And then it's not working. But that's just because this thing is right there. Look, her face is appearing. Yay. And then we're gonna have to go into here, copy this thing, and it's gonna go. Oh, there's one single material for the eyelashes. Why? Why do you have to do this to me? Okay, set it to clip, and then it's gone. Eyes there. Clip and oh no, these eyes are separated from the body. Anyway, what you have to do to make everything of the body disappear is basically just go into the material of it, copy that same thing, and you'll see that it marks it like that, and then you set this to clip and that goes away, and then when you pull this down it comes back. And I think that those are a little bit too big, so we're gonna set these one to 20, and where's this sheet, this one to 30. Yeah, look at it, look at it. I mean, or you can set it to hashed and then just go in here and fucking slide this all the way down there, slide this all the way up there, and then it's more of a little gradient you have there, like that, so it doesn't go out as abruptly, which I would use eventually. So, but like alpha hash is a little bit slow, so I tend to leave it as clip for performance. Anyway, it is working, as you can see, just like that. You can remove her, you can delete her, you can do stuff with her. Yeah, awesome. So let's go for that one more time. This is how it looks like inside the little shader. This is basically why those cubes are here. Let's unpack that for a minute. Ungroup. I say ungroup you. Alt G. How do you ungroup? There you go. Okay, this might look a bit intimidating, but it's really not. This is a brick texture. Beautiful. This is another brick texture. Beautiful. And then these brick textures mix together into what is essentially this gradient, and then color burn, and then we get this mask, which this mask is a mask for the emission, which looks like this. And then there's this thing that gives it color, and this color. I'm making this really difficult to follow. But anyway, the idea behind this is that you can just copy this shader and throw it in here like that, and plug it in there, and just delete that, because or you can do or you can just do it like this, where basically yeah, it can be as simple as just basically 2 nodes, but then you wouldn't have this cube effect. And if you want to copy it over to another character, so say we'll just use this banana again. Oh, I already see why we needed to add a lot of these cubes. It's basically because this is just too small. So let's set this back to like 300 and just blow up. Oh, not that big. Blow this up to like 06. This to 01. And now it's working better. But that's just preference, you know. This is more how it looks in game. Anyway, if you want to carry it over to another character, such as Peely over here, you just grab this and let's see how this is called geometry nodes, which you can rename, by the way, to data death effect, and just kind of copy it right there, and then you get that already, but it's not exactly that what you want. So you'll have to completely copy these vertex colors. So you'll have a call and an invis map. These have to be exactly named. These have to be identical. And then you can just go into shader editor and copy your little shader and plug that in there. And of course set this to alpha clip or hashed, which one you prefer is up to you. And plug that into there. And as you can see, maybe scale that down a bit. It just works. It just works like that. It just does. Yeah. So anyway, that has been the end of this tutorial. Again, you can just kind of mess around. Set this to like 1, 1, 2, 1, and then you'll get the effect that made this whole thing go viral, or not viral, just very requested in the first place. As you can see, if you set this to 2, and this might be to 1.2. So I'm gonna end the tutorial here. I hope you liked it, and I will see you next time.